It's time to become the best version of yourself and help others do the same. It's Monday morning, and we're talking success.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Monday Morning Talking Success. My name's Greg Halliday, and I'm coming to you from the Soul offices. And it's not just me you are joining. If you're on for the first time, and we hope that you feel comfortable and welcome here. If you are for the first time joining us, chat in. And if you kind of look at the chat box, and I love to look at that at this, I kind of call it the chatter box because there's a lot of chatter going on. It's all good chatter. Most of them are greetings, and so many of you have said, "Good morning, my wonderful soul family," or some variation of that. And I love that. I love that you feel that way. That's the way we want Soul to be from its founding 14 years ago. And moving forward, I hope it's always a place where people just feel like they can come and they get uplifted. They're supported, they learn something, they find solutions to their health problems or challenges, and they find a lot of support from people like them. So we've got some, and look, we got Krista from Canada. How you doing, Krista? It's always great to see you. And we got Jenny from Katy, Texas, and we have Valerie from 16 degrees, Kansas. Oh, have fun with that, Valerie. It's kind of chilly here too. And so many good people here. I love the big all caps, good morning, Soul Familia. I love that. Okay, well, and we got a blizzard going, Sue says, in Michigan. That's okay. That's all right, Sue. You know, eventually that snow melts and then spring flowers come up from it, right? So it's worth it. Okay, well, we've got a wonderful guest this morning. And before we get to our guest, we want to do a little bit of recognition, as always. And before we do the recognition, we are going to just mention again, for any that might be new, if you chat in, we're going to put you in the drawing. For what, you might ask? Well, this morning we've got, yes, the mystery box. Okay, wait, now. Okay, this used to have Soulflex AC cream in it. Does not have that right now. This mystery box, I'm taking that tag off so you don't get it and then, get mad at me. But this mystery box, I don't know what's in it. It's already sealed. It's full of goodies. Okay, we're going to give away the mystery box, but it's soul stuff, and you want it. So chat in, and we'll put you in the drawing, okay? And we're going to do that before we end today. We're going to draw for the mystery box. Just like Valerie says, we just love a good mystery box. This box is so mysterious, Valerie. We don't even know what's in it. The person who sealed the box doesn't even know what's in it. That's how mysterious it is. But, it's good soul stuff, so you want this. All right, so, I'm looking at some more. I really want to get going, but I can't help looking at your comments in here. Lydia says her parents are celebrating. So her parents are soul brand specialists, Alvaro and Nubia Medina. And I love them. I've known them for many years. They're celebrating their 60th, their 60th anniversary this year. Oh, and they're celebrating it all year this year. Wow. Well, I think you should. 60 years, you ought to do it. That's a lot of that's 365 celebrations though, Lydia. If they celebrate it all year. And I know Nubia, maybe she's down for that. I'm thinking, well, does Alvaro want to celebrate that much, in terms of just, Nubia's got that boundless energy. So that's awesome. All right. Yeah. So let's see, we got some mystery box comments going in here. And yeah, Diamond anniversary should be celebrated all year. That's what Lydia says. Okay. And hello, Anita from wintertime. Yeah, Sue told us you're in a blizzard, so drive safe. Okay. Let's do just a little bit of recognition, all right? We've got some success keys, and one of them is the ranked up success key. We're going to start with that. I love celebrating people's achievements. And at Soul, the rank means so much more because it represents people that you're helping. So to me, it's double. It's your achievement for all your hard work. And I think educating ourselves and setting goals and moving forward, so much of that usually goes into it. But it also represents people whose lives are being changed. So we're going to just honor those who have hit that first, I'd say, major step. And how amazing is that? no matter how many studies. In fact, our conversation today, we're going to get into a little bit of this. How amazing is it that those first steps can be the most determining steps for future success? Taking that first step, especially not waiting long to take that first step, can make all the difference. And if it comes later on and the light bulb turns on, that's okay too. That actually has great power as well. But I love seeing these first steps happen really early on with people. So the Soul Pro 1K, we've got a few of those. These are just here in the last few weeks here at Soul. So let's celebrate and give a round of applause to Luz Dolores for hitting 1K, to Alma Sanchez. Seen Alma's name a lot lately on a lot of our charts for sharing and bringing in new members in Soul. Ileana Trujillo, well done, Ileana. Mayra Daniela Hilario, well done, and congratulations, Mayra. Ruth Villafania is also 1K. Gabriela Naranjo Rodriguez, congratulations, Gabriela. And Elias Ruiz. These are our 1Ks. They took that first power step in their soul journey. So congrats to them. Now we have our 2Ks, where you get this wonderful soul stainless steel bottle that will last forever, and you can put signature drinks in it. That's why it's so good. And we have Ann Samaru. Oh, in fact, something tells me that our guest this morning, he probably is taking particular joy in Ann Samaru because he knows her and he's her mentor. So happy for you, Ann. Congratulations on hitting 2K. And Amparo Yogues, I hope I said your last name right, Amparo. Or is it Amparo? It might be that. Congratulations on our 2 new 2Ks this month. Okay, now we have 3Ks where you get the kettle. Sometimes you just need to warm up the soul drinks. That's what I'm doing with Cinemate this morning. And Bianca Albarran, Bianca, you're going to get to warm them up now in your soul kettle. So congrats on being a 3K. Jorge Luna Alvarado also hit 3K. And Jose Cortez Negrete. And I think Jose, if memory serves, Jose's lives in Mexico. So congratulations, Jose. I've seen him very, very frequently as he's earned his commissions in soul. He's doing a lot of people helping in Mexico and making a difference. All right, now we've got a 5K, Soul Leader 5Ks. This is the first step where you're now considered part of the group, part of that soul family group that has the name leader, because you're just starting to expand beyond those people that you're helping directly to helping others do that same thing and feel that double satisfaction for what you do yourself, but what you're seeing others do as a result of that journey that you put them on because you reached out. So I love the Soul Leader 5K for that reason. There's a new level of, I think, satisfaction and enjoyment that comes to you when you're able to get to this rank and see others like yourself starting to help people. And we have just one over these last few weeks. Sebastiana Santiago Lopez is a new Soul Leader 5K. So congratulations to Sebastiana. And we also have a 10K that just ranked up here in January, and that's Dora Corral. So Dora, well done. I know Dora, if you go and look, that comment that I was just making about that wonderful satisfaction of seeing others who work with you start to rank up themselves and have similar success, that is why Dora is a 10K. She's got several that are doing such a wonderful job reaching out to other people with soul. So congrats to all of our ranked up achievers today. We love to see it, and we want you to know that here in the soul community, throughout your journey, we are interested in every step of the way in supporting you and being there for you, and ask you to continue to do what you're doing to be that light for other people and help them find answers to the challenges. We know that ranking up is full of lots of satisfying experiences, but also it has its challenges too, and it sure helps to have other people that you can talk with, doesn't it? And sometimes even make plans with. We've got wonderful groups of collaborative leaders in soul. I've seen it for many years, and I'm seeing some wonderful projects right now where multiple leaders of different organizations get together and build tools and plans that help all of them and bring support and achievement to everybody. That's what it's all about in Soul. That's what we call the Soul community. So you new leaders who have just ranked up, welcome and thank you for all you're doing. Now we have another success key we want to honor today. It's the Wealth Champ. These people, we're starting right out with Abigail Frederick. We're going to see Abigail here in South Padre Island in about a month and a half. So I'm so happy to see her once again. Her name's frequently on our success key honor lists, recognition lists. And this one is just, we just took a period of the last 2 weeks. This is just these last couple of weeks in January, since the new year. Okay, people who have used their link, which we call Share the Wealth, which gets a first-time buyer at Soul $10 off their order. We call that Share the Wealth, W-E-L-L. For those of you who are newer, it's sort of that parallel at Soul, where first we help people with their health, and what comes along for the ride is a wonderful and a super fulfilling profession where you can make a business out of that, and that's sharing the wealth. So Wealth Champs are people that do that quite a bit. We chose the level of 3. So just in the last 2 weeks, these are people who have had at least 3, some of them quite a few more than that, people who have taken advantage of their link and placed their first order in Soul. So they're Wealth Champs. So Abigail Frederick, congratulations to you. Alvaro Medina, congratulations on your 60th anniversary and still sharing the wealth with other people. Angela Brucheski, congratulations, Angela. Salud Natural. And these are some local friends who are doing some great work. Congratulations to you. Gabriela Arguello. Congratulations, Gabriela. Gaia Stepanian. You're a Wealth Champ. Congratulations, Genoveva Valencia. You and that wonderful smile of yours continues to make a huge difference to other people, and you're a Wealth Champ this week. Congratulations, Jordana Espinosa. Love Jordana. Jordana is another one who just makes it part of her lifestyle to help people, to reach out and help people with their health. So here she is again as a Wealth Champ. Chris DeVilliers. Now I know Chris has dedicated her entire professional life. For many, many, many years. I'm not going to say entire because I don't know way back at the start, but I've known Chris for many years. This is what she does. She's about, I love her saying, meeting people where they are. She's about meeting you where you are and going from there, helping you from there. So not surprised, Chris is here. She's a Wealth Champ because that's what she does for people. I think we got some more. Kristen Brunias, KB. I've known Kristen now for a number of years. Same thing. She reaches out in many different ways to people. And in fact, we just had someone on the Soul Showcase. If you didn't watch our Tuesday night showcase, one of the people she helped, who originally would have been someone that she shared, I am certain, her link with, shared a wonderful insight into her health journey. So watch that Soul Showcase if you didn't get to see it, because it's sitting there recorded on our YouTube channel. And she does credit throughout her story that she can reach out to Kristen whenever she has a question, and Kristen will get her an answer. So well done. You are a Wealth Champ, Kristen. Lydia Ferrantino. This is also what Lydia does. I see her name all across the reports that we tend to keep records of in Soul so that we can better understand and support each of you. Lydia's name is always there. Luisa Santa Maria. Congratulations, Luisa. Maria Bisiacci or Bisiaki. Miriam Alvarez. Congratulations. Pat Alakim. Congratulations to you, Pat. Pedro Rivera Soto. Congrats, Pedro. And Temna Sturdivant, who is really quite new to Soul. And I think our guest today, he's probably got a big smile on his face too, because he knows her and he's her mentor. We had a wonderful conversation with her last week. What a great woman, born in the Boston area. I talked her into it. I said, sometime we got to get you on and share some of what you're doing on Monday morning. And she'll be happy to do that. We'll have to plan that with her. But here she is. She's in her first month in Seoul, and she's already a wealth champ. So I just love to see that. And then we end with Valerie Bledsoe, another person who this is what she's done and continues to do with her life. She makes the challenges you might be going through, whether those are health challenges or whether they're business challenges, she makes them places of growth and learning and provides solutions. One of my favorite people, Valerie. So congratulations, Valerie. Okay, well, we had lots of great recognition. And now we're going to jump into our segment where we've got our guest. And he's someone I've known for many, many years. And I'll tell you, I've known him professionally, first on the corporate side of things, and now as a distributor, a brand specialist at Soul Naturals. So Eric Patterson brings with him a very, very unique body of experience. And I will tell you, because he has so many years in the industry where he can share his experience from the corporate side and his experience now from the side of brand specialist. But I would say that who he is goes even further back. Those qualities that he developed, the persistence, the real, I would say, a thirst for learning, unlike very, very few people I've known in my life. I would say he just stands out. It almost doesn't matter what the challenge is. He'll learn about it and be really good at addressing it. He's got a wonderful heart. He loves people. He loves to spend time with people. He will give you time. This is something that he doesn't think twice about. And so I'm really happy to have Eric Patterson on today. Let's give Eric a welcome. And Eric's down in St. George with his family. He told me when we called this morning, you said, "Oh, we got the house full of screaming banshees." Is that how you put it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah, we have the house full. I've got all the grandkids except for two that are out of state. I've got all my in-laws except those that are out of state, and my kids, of course. So we filled the house. And in fact, I had to go in there just a couple of minutes ago and just say, because they were singing Taylor Swift sing along with the video.
Well,
I said, guys,
how can you not?
Be on camera.
That's awesome.
I'm going to be on camera in just a minute, so please just hold off on the Taylor Swift.
That's funny. Okay, well, I was going to tell a story, but I'm not going to, in the interest of time. But I'm glad you could spend some time with us, Eric. I know you're spending time with family. Eric's up here in Utah in the north, but he also has a property in St. George, a beautiful property. And so, Eric, we were talking just before. I don't know if you heard. I didn't want to embarrass you or make you blush, but there are so many things that I think about since we've known each other that I admire about you. And I was thinking today, so it's hard for me to just sit down for a few minutes and talk about one thing. But
Right.
One thing that was on my mind, and the reason that we talked last week about you coming on, is this amazing activity that you engender with your team early on in their experience. I would say right out of the gate in their experience as a brand specialist. And there are lots of evidences of that. A lot of these success keys we see constantly. There are several people from your team in them. But I think I wanted to start our conversation with this question for you, because I know you've done both before you became a distributor and a brand specialist. You've done plenty of research and looked from the sort of the corporate side at it, and you've seen principles that are game changers, that are even life changers for people. And then you're seeing it through new eyes as well, and yet those principles remain. So we talked a little bit before, and you mentioned, Eric, there were a few things that you'd love for other people to see as well that you would like to share. And so can we just start off that way? Just in this area of helping people out of the gate have early success. Why is it so important to you? And what message did you have to share this morning for people about this?
Yeah, thank you. Well, first of all, thanks for having me, Greg. It's always a pleasure to get to talk to you, whatever the circumstances might be, right? So let me just say a couple of things. I look for patterns of success, and one of the things that I try to always do is, okay, what is the pattern? What's going on? and how do I learn from that pattern? How do I implement what I'm learning and what I'm seeing in my own business? And something I've seen throughout the years is that there are some elements. There are some elements uh, that a leader can help a new specialist. And I'm going to talk about specialists because, first of all, I think we all need to have an abundance of customers. I think that's just fundamental to someone's business is to have a lot of customers. So we should always be looking to bring in customers, but at the same time, we should be looking, if we want to be successful in this business, and it's a network marketing business, obviously. And so we want to be able to bring in people will partner with us and will help us multiply our efforts. And you might have heard me say that before, is that I'm always looking for multipliers. And it doesn't matter how it is that they multiply, as long as they're able to amplify and multiply what the time I've given them, that they're going to go out and help many, many others, right? And so that's one of the guides or one of the patterns I try to follow is that. And so I've seen certain behaviors over time that help indicate whether someone is going to be successful and going to be active over the long term. And so I'd like to see if I could share some of those with you, Greg.
Yeah,
And the
I
first
love
one
this,
is,
Eric. Eric sent over a couple of slides just before.
Yeah.
So we haven't really
Yeah.
gussed them up, but Eric, yeah, please take us through them and just all your insights into them. Love to hear it.
Yeah, thank you. So these are not fancy slides. I just put these, kind of just rushed them together just to make sure I shared it with everyone. But let's talk about specialists specifically, because without specialists, you really don't have much of a network marketing business. You may have a business, but not a network marketing business, right? So I'm focusing on network marketing and being able to grow a team of people who then help others, and multi-generational, right? So the first thing I've noticed over the years is that people who come in with 150 or higher QV, which is actually the threshold for earning the Soul Prime bonus at Soul. But whatever the threshold is at any given company, if people come in at that threshold or above, then they're much more likely to maintain activity with you and be retained for a long time. So be an active member of your team for much longer than those who don't. So again, these are not guarantees, but these are leading indicators, right? People who do these behaviors are the ones that are most likely to be active 12 months from now. So when I put time and effort into bringing someone into the company, I want that to be an effort that it multiplies, right? I want it to be that an effort that brings back an investment of as long as possible. And so we try to, of course, always do that. So here's what's interesting about what I'm saying here. If you bring in a specialist who comes in with the idea of, I want to be Soul Prime eligible, and they come in with 150 or higher, then chances are of them actually doing that behavior will be much higher. That means if we're in January 2026, that if they do that, they're 2.5 times more likely than someone who doesn't to be active as a specialist doing their business 12 months from now, in January 2027. I think that's significant. And so how a little thing can be leveraged to become a really significant leading indicator, I think is super important. So
Yeah,
think about that. If you
Eric.
bring in a specialist and they're serious about wanting to do the business, then get them at 150 immediately, because then that opens up that whole opportunity to earn the Soul Prime bonus.
Yeah, Eric, and I'm sorry to jump in, but I love this. I love that little statistic, because it tells me that if I do that one thing, I can, sometimes people will say, well, if you want to have more success, you've got to increase your efforts. And maybe I've got to double or triple my efforts. Well, here's one thing that I can do with this person that doubles or triples, in a sense, my efforts,
Yes.
because the
Yes.
odds of them contributing and go up hugely. I mean, 2.5 times is like, there's a lot of different ways to express that, but
Right.
those are odds that in any aspect of any business you would want to gravitate to. And Eric, you have a lot of people do this. And so I don't want to interrupt your train of thought, so we can do it after. But I did have the question.
We can talk
You
about
have
that now. Let's talk about it, because
Yeah.
one of the things I want to do from the very beginning is determine, first of all, how they want to do the business and
Yeah.
how ready they are to do it now.
Okay. Yeah.
So let me say one of the things I do is someone tells me they want to be a specialist, and it's the 27th of the month when
Uh-huh.
they want to enroll. I will say to them, okay, we're going to enroll you first as a member.
Uh-huh.
And in 3 or 4 days, when it's the first of the month, we're going to upgrade you to specialist.
And
Now,
why
why
do you
would I
do
do
that?
that? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? Right? Well, it's because the month that they enroll is their first month of eligibility for the Soul Prime bonus. And they have 4 calendar months from the moment that they either enroll as a specialist or upgrade to a specialist. So they have 4 months, their enrollment month in the following 3 months. So a total of 4 months for them to earn this double Soul Prime bonuses.
Hmm. I love
So I'm
you, and you talk about this with you tell every single one of them about this, don't you?
Absolutely. Yes. It's a conversation. It's a rather natural conversation that I have with them, right? It's like, okay, let's get you in. And oftentimes, if you think about it, if it's the 26th, 27th of the month, most of them want to have the products in their hand and have tried a little bit so they can feel confident to talk about it. So you're really not losing anything, but what you're gaining is almost an entire calendar month for the eligibility for the double Soul Prime bonuses, right? And to me, that's critical. And I'll show you why that's critical in just a couple moments. But I'm willing to say, let's get you in as a member, even if it's the 20th of the month, to say, well, how many people do you have that you can enroll in the next 10 days? Well, I'd like to try the products, but I have probably 4 or 5 people I can enroll. Okay, do you think you could get those people enrolled by the end of the month, by the 31st of January? Well, I'd have to blah blah blah. Okay, do you think it would be easier if we just got you in, got your products in your hand, and then upgraded you on the 1st of February so that you have the full month to qualify for the bonus, rather than trying to scramble to do it in a few days? Now, here's the fun thing. I've had some awesome, amazing specialists who we've said that with, and then before they know it, they start to share it. They almost can't hold back, and they have people signing up. And so I said, we're going to set, we have to, like,
We got
I
to
had this
upgrade
happen
you.
in November,
Yeah.
right? And you and I talked about this.
I
had
know
someone
a
in
couple
November
of
sign
them.
up. Yeah, we've had it a couple of times where I go back and say, listen, you've already got some enrollments. You have people that come in, and actually we had one person, long story short is they started sharing immediately. They couldn't hold back. And so what we did is quickly upgraded them and made sure that she was able to get her 4 enrollments with the $500 in volume in less than a week, right?
And
So that we got her Soul Prime immediately, right? Because
yeah,
she already had people coming in. And it's like, okay, we're going to put, those people, anyway, we don't have to go through the specifics, but we were able to get her Soul Prime bonus in her first week, right?
yeah, and
But
Eric. Oh, sorry,
not
sorry. Go
everyone's
ahead.
able to do that so quickly.
Yeah, and sorry, I keep jumping in, but the point that I wanted to bring out is that because I've talked with some of your people, because as you introduce them to us and as we meet,
Mhm.
and what they all know is that you have their best interest at heart. You have those conversations, and they know, like, he's going to tell me so I can maximize my experience at the start. I mean, that's just one thing, but they know you're actually thinking of them versus, maybe a goal that you have. And that's sort of me at the core of why, for anyone else wondering, I mean, one of the reasons I asked Eric to come and talk about this is he has a super high ratio of new people that get Prime. And so my question to him was, how do you do this? How do you talk with them? Because so many of them start out taking advantage of that double Prime. And I don't want to get you too far in that, because I know you have some other good slides here. So let me turn it back to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just a matter of having a conversation, understanding where they are. Because you have folks who want to immediately start working, who already have a bunch of people they've worked with, sometimes and some of them are practitioners, some of them are network marketers, and some of them are just people who just have this high level of social capital, if you will, that they're happy and able to share with a lot of people, right? And so I asked them is, okay, where are you? How would you like to start? We have some options. And once they tell me what they want, they say, okay, well, let me tell you what options exist. It sounds like this option might be the best for you. I don't feel like I need to go in and sign someone up as a specialist on their first day if they're not ready. Now, if they tell me they're ready, then we move, of course, we move forward and we look at through the options. But like I said, there are times where I say, okay, let's get you in as a specialist. Let's get you your products, get you to have an experience with the product. And then in a few weeks or whenever the timing is right, or at the beginning of next month, we'll upgrade you so you have that full time for you to be eligible. But you're absolutely right, Greg, in that my goal is always to maximize for them results. And that's results with the products as well as with the business, right? Because just as important, if they're coming in as a specialist, they're coming in to earn money, either to pay for their product or to pay for the product and extra. And so I want them to maximize that. And so if it means that I have to just take a step back and just say, well, let's get you in, let's get you taking the products. And then, of course, boom, 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 we follow down that road.
Awesome. Let's keep going with your awesome slides here, my friend.
Okay, let's look at the next one. These are related to the first one, right? So we said by 150 QV, then they're already they're eligible to qualify for Soul Prime bonus. But what I found over my career is that the people who bring in just at least one customer or specialist, they don't even have to earn, in this case, the Prime, Soul Prime. But if they just bring in one person, that means that they're more likely to be with me and active a year from now, okay, in their first 30 days. So we're talking about immediately out of the gate, start doing something. Now, if someone signs up in the last week of the month, then it's a full 30-day period. We're not talking here calendar month. We're talking here 30 days from when they enroll. So in the first 30 days, enrolling one means that they're 2.5 times more likely to be with me and active 12 months from now. So in January 2027. But if I can help them get close to or actually achieve the Soul Prime bonus, which is 3 or more in this case, right? If I get them in their first 30 days to enroll 3 or more people, then they're 3 times more likely to be active with me a year from now, January 2027. So what does this mean? Well, this means that if I get them to Soul Prime, then I've I have tripled their likelihood, the probability that they'll be active with me and doing the business with me 12 months from now. So again, it's little tiny things that I'm doing along the path that is increasing. And what's cool about it is that they stack on each other, right? And so you take double, 2 times or 2.5 times and 3 times, those things independently of each other are good. But if you stack them on top of each other, then you're increasing your likelihood by a significant amount that they'll be active with you and part of your business 12 months from now. And if they're active in 12 months, then likelihood they're going to be with you for much, much longer.
Yeah, I love that point, Eric. Because that would be a question I was going to ask. Why the 12th month? Why do you look at that? You just said the answer. When that is the case, the numbers go up just hyper significantly, that they will then be with you for many years. And that assumes an activity and a commitment and a constancy,
right,
which is what you have seen throughout your career and what you personally give to anything that you do.
Right. Yeah. And I'm helping them find early successes because first I want them to have an amazing experience with the product. And then I want them to have an amazing experience with sharing the products with other people. That way there's never, or should be minimized, if any doubt, that this works, right? That the products work and that the business works. Yeah. And if it means that at some point they even come down in activity to the point where they're just getting their products paid for, that's okay. They're still active with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And right? Now on that line, you shared me something else about, and I don't know if you've got it in your slides, like as you continue on here, where the amount can make a difference too, the amount that they earn.
That's the next slide. Yeah, let's look at the next slide. So the amount that they earn in their first 30 days is also significant. So if I can help them earn any amount of money in their first 30 days, then that just like makes them excited. They earned something, right? It goes from being, I believe I can earn something in this business to like, hey, I actually earned something. In fact, I was listening to one of the big network marketing trainers out there, and I really like what he has to offer. But he said his first check was $18, and his mentor was his father, right? And so he said he walked around. He was just like he had just climbed Mount Everest. He was so happy that he had earned $18 in his first month, which if you and I think about it, it's not a lot of money, right? And that made some, let's say $30, $40 in today's dollars. But that what it means is that they found a success. They say, okay, they've told me something. It goes from being theory to being real, right? It goes because everything's theoretical on the product. The product's going to help you until you actually try and go, oh, it helped. And the same thing with the business. It's theoretical. It goes from being this ethereal thing. I think I believe in it until, okay, now it's true. I did get paid something. So the more you earn in your first 30 days, the more it solidifies the belief in that person, right? That the business works. And so if you can get them over $100, it actually triples the likelihood. Again, so if I'm stacking 150 and then I can get 3 or more, and then I'm stacking $100 in earnings. In most cases, by doing 3 or more people, and if you're doing it in the way that you're trying to qualify with 4 people, 500 volume for the level 1 Soul Prime bonus, then you're going to far exceed this. In fact, the numbers I have is like you're about 330 to 350, depending on the product mix, in your first 30 days.
Yeah, I wanted to stop there for a second, Eric. 2 things that I think are just power. And I can see why you've taught this so much over the years, both from the corporate side and now you're teaching those who are joining your team. If you were to tell me, and I'm looking at it through corporate eyes, I admit, but if I can tell a brand specialist, hey, I know something that's not very hard that I will help you with in your first 30 days that are going to double your success rate. Whatever your odds were, whatever odds we all have at being successful, you can actually have double or triple those odds. And I'm going to show you how to double or triple. And these slides this morning that you're sharing with us can double or triple the odds, both for the mentor, but also for the new person. But the second thing is what you told me, this powerful about anything. Everyone, I'll say it a different way, every brand specialist who comes, who shares, is guaranteed to earn something. And that's the bar that will double my odds. I just get them to earn something, even if they share one. But I'm always a little blown away, Eric, when I think about your team because of the emphasis you put on using double prime. That's not something that's required in the compensation plan. It's an opportunity versus a requirement. You treat it like the standard, I don't know how you'd say it, because I've noticed, so I'm looking at it from our statistics here, you have a very high percentage of people who earn prime in their first 4 months multiple times. And every time they're getting that, what did you say the number is? Around $300. They're going to earn, so this is me tripling my odds that they're going to be successful in their reason for joining Soul, and I'm going to be successful in mine. I can triple my odds if I do this prime in the first 4 months. That blows me away. I still am trying to wrap my head around it all the way. How can we make that easier for everyone to understand? Back to you, Eric. Tell me, how can we do that?
So I think the key is just talking, right? Rather than having an agenda of how I want you to do it, I want to ask you as my new specialist, Greg, you're going to sign up as a specialist. How ready are you right now to start running, right? Because if you're not ready right now, or let's say that something happened, well, I just had something happen. I want to get on the products, but I just had something happen that I might need a month or so. No problem. Let's get you in on the products, get your results there. Once you're ready, we upgrade you, then we get you on. But it's having that conversation. Someone doesn't become a specialist because I talk them into it. They become a specialist because they have a desire to, number 1, pay for their products, and number 2, get extra income. Right? And so what am I trying to do? I'm trying to help them see that I can help you get your products paid for, and I can help you make extra income. And so it's not my agenda. It's really what it is that they want to. I make sure I explain to them what their options are so that they make the choice. I'm not forcing them into my little, whatever.
I can see
model.
that. You're taking their situation and first understanding it and then saying, okay, now I understand. Let me show you your options for maximizing your experience.
Yeah. So one thing I want to mention, I don't have this on a slide, and if it is, we could just skip it. But not only do I want to bring in people who who are going to earn the Soul Prime bonuses, right? But I want to help them help their people wherever possible. And so I'm trying to make this a multi-generational, if you will, teaching or duplication, if you will, is probably a better word. But I want them to help most of them start off by bringing in lots of customers, which is fine and awesome because it builds that level of volume that can get them often. Oftentimes people who will get the first level 1 volume are usually, if they have a little bit of experience and know products, then they can, by doing level 1 prime, which is just 500 points and 4 people, then they get close to that 1K rank. Not uncommon. Not uncommon.
Very quickly.
In fact, like Temna, who was just recognized, when she joined in her second month, boom, in December, she became a 2K. And you got level 2 Soul Prime, double Soul Prime, I should say, right? And became a 2K. And so with 8 people, she had over 2,000 volume. So isn't that awesome? And so now then it behooves me to help her train any specialist. Now, most of those are customers, right, at first. But as she starts to build and she starts to invite more people. But the important and great thing is that now she knows that in her first month, she could do this. She could help others do the same thing, right?
Yeah, I love it. There's so many valuable nuggets here, Eric. And I'm looking at our time here.
Okay,
darn it, we probably have to wrap it up.
Let me just say one thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you want to add?
You're doing. Yeah, look at what you're doing and look at what your level 1, 2, and 3 are doing, because really this is about where you're headed is where your first 3 levels of volume are building the business. Right. And I'll just leave that as a nugget there for someone to think about that, and we can talk about it more in depth in the future.
Well,
what you and your first 3 levels, right, are doing to build a business is where your business is heading. If you're doing 100% of the effort, well, something happens to you, you get ill, or someone in your family gets ill and you can't do the business, your income's going to drop. And that's not a good place for anyone to have no income or very little income. But if you build a team of specialists, and those people are building other specialists and building a team themselves, then it just creates a situation where you have long-term success throughout the organization. And stability, really.
Yeah, and Eric, I think another time we want you to come on and talk some more about that, because you've done some analysis into that, right? Into those volume, the activity levels. So your first 3 levels, for those who might be newer, people that you've mentored, and then the next generation that they have mentored, and then 1 more. So 3. Yeah. And you're saying this is a special, what would you call that? It's not just a statistic, but it's a
leading indicator, actually.
It's a leading indicator, the activity in there. So it's not just purely volume in there. It's the activity. How many of those people are earning prime? What's the enrollment? Yes. Some of those indicators that you've talked today, what are people earning? It's looking at that group of 3, and I can really kind of see where I'm headed. I think that's super valuable information.
The last thing I want to talk about really quickly, and we can just go through these slides if whoever's running the slides, go to the worksheets. I created just a really simple worksheet. I mean, these are available for you on, if you use boards, we have these on boards, but all I did is put a little spreadsheet together where you could see how to calculate and track the progress for level 1. The top is always double because that's where you start. You start off in your first 4 months, calendar months, as double prime eligible. And so I put that at the top. And then after the first 4 calendar months, then you drop into the normal standard Soul Prime, which is still wonderful. It just happens to, the double helps accelerate their earnings in those first 4 months because you want them to have early successes. And so all this is about helping people have early successes so that you can have they can have long-term success. And as they have long-term success, you have long-term success. And I've built these worksheets for levels 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the primes, including the double bonus and standard bonuses. I have them available in boards, and there's a group of us who are using boards very actively. Just know that we're also in the process of making it available in other ways. There's a group of us, that same group of people are also working on putting together some other tools where these will be available in other ways. But if you want these, are available through boards. It's just a matter of me sending you a link, and it's a PDF that you can download and print up, right?
Eric, is this for the mentor? Is that document for the mentor? Or
No.
do you give it to the new person? The new
Yeah,
brand, you
it's
give
not
it to
meant
the
for
new brand
it's not
specialist.
meant for me. It's meant for my new specialist to have a visual tracking methodology. And so it's just really simple. I put the name of the person. My first enrollment is Greg Halliday. He bought $181. What's the CV on that? And then I do for the next person, so that at the end, I've known I've got my 4 people with 500, and then calculate the CV, and even how to. It tells you there to take the CV, multiply it by 35, and that's your soul quick. And so you can see not only what your soul quick is, but then it also shows you that your 50 becomes $100 bonus because it's the first 4 months.
Okay, and so this one is level 1, and then the next
Level
slide,
one.
level 2.
Level 2, yeah. And level 3 is next. It's actually bigger because you have to have 16, so it's actually 2 separate sheets.
Okay, so to be
And
really
then there's
clear
level
to
4,
everyone, okay, sorry, Eric, for those listening maybe for the first time, there are 4 tiers of achievement in Soul Prime. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, and each of those pays a higher amount, and there's still a 1-month period. So you've got charts here. No matter where you're achieving, you've got a chart for it, so that they know. Oh, and like you have a new one. Temna just came, and she's already in her first couple weeks. She's already done the level 2, and so she's filled it out, and she can see. Oh, this is the full commission I'm going to get out of all that effort between my Soul Quick and the Soul Prime double.
Yeah, the idea is that if you have something, some people are just very visual and very tactile. If they have it in front of them and they're filling it out, it's top of mind. And so it's just a way for you to track it. Now, I don't fill it out with them. I mean, I ask them to, and I can see in the back office, I can see what they're doing. So, and it's already in my head. It's kind of embedded in there. So I don't need to follow along and have a sheet for everybody. But what I want them to do is to be able to track it and see their progress, and then be able to calculate their own total commissions for what they've done really simply.
Yeah, and I love this. I know we've got to wrap up now. I can just keep going on this because, it's Monday morning and we've got Eric on. But let me just say this. You talk about how you want people to help others do the same thing. Well, you've trained them all. They've done it all. Once they've done this themselves and filled one of these out, they already know how they're going to do it with their new person, and you start to duplicate. So I love these. I appreciate Eric. Just to summarize, you can get these directly from Eric. They are also on boards, and I mentioned this at the start of Monday morning today. He and a few other leaders are putting together are working on a collaborative project where they're making a lot of these tools available in a organized fashion so that everything can be found and used. I love that project. I'm sure we'll hear updates from you, and that's going to be another place where they'll be able to get these, right?
Yeah. And I mean, all they are is a spreadsheet that I put onto a PDF. So there's nothing. All it is just an easy way to track, and we know those things that get tracked are more likely to get accomplished. Those accomplishments will help us not only help them be successful in the short term, but in the long term, as we showed with their retention and their activity at 12 months and beyond, right?
Yeah. Okay, Eric, we're going to wrap up. We're going to draw. Let's draw the mystery box. And then I'm going to ask you for a final word of advice. I always do this to someone who's just beginning their soul journey. Some final words of wisdom from Eric. But first, the drawing. So I'm going to pull out something when Eric tells me to draw.
Draw.
All right. Wow, that was pretty good. Usually I get like 3 and I have to drop some. And this one is, Victoria Terry. All right. Victoria Terry, you won the mystery box. No one's even looked inside it. It's never before been seen, but you'll get to unbox it. So there you go, Victoria. Congratulations. And Eric, okay, give us a final thought to someone just starting on their soul journey.
Okay, so I'm going to assume we're talking about specialists.
Yes, a specialist.
Okay. So, as a specialist, if you're just getting started, learn, digest, study how to earn the Soul Prime bonus.
Okay. Words of wisdom. Lots of good happens using that and leveraging the Soul Prime. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate everything. And we'll be talking some more with Eric. Sure enjoyed having him on. And everybody, thank you for being with us this morning. I've seen a couple of chats on here. I'm going to go back and rewatch this. Yes, we went just a little longer, but boy, that information is worth it, wasn't it? So we'll see you next time on Monday morning. Until then, we love you. See ya.